Hey horror lovers, I'm Alex, and welcome back to Blood Moon Mondays. Today's story is not just a horror tale, it's a descent into madness, a psychological, supernatural game of survival that takes place deep within the isolated mountain trails of Wyoming's Blackstone Valley. This is the story of Jake, Emma, Leah, and Thea, four friends who went on a hiking trip and never truly came back. The story, Until Dawn. Jake, Emma, Leah, and Theo had been hiking since morning through the rugged slopes of Blackstone Valley. As evening rolled in, the trail began to feel unfamiliar. That's when Jake noticed a signpost pointing toward Ash Hollow, a different valley entirely. They were off route. It was getting dark fast. Turning back wasn't an option. Jake remembered locals mentioning an old ranger's visitor center somewhere near a trail fork. He convinced the group to head that way, and luckily, they found it right before the downpour started. The sky blackened, thunder rumbled, and rain came crashing down. They rushed inside the abandoned wooden building, locked the doors, and dumped their backpacks by the entrance. Using old papers and broken furniture, Jake got a fire going in the fireplace. They all gathered around the flickering flames, hoping the storm would pass. It was 6:45 p.m. Emma and Leah felt strangely uneasy inside the visitor center, like they were being watched. To lighten the mood, Jake joked about a conversation he had with a local old man who claimed the center was cursed. "People who enter don't come out," he quoted, adding that a girl named Melanie had vanished from the same spot a few months back. The group laughed nervously. Then, it started. The windows and doors flew open. A violent gust shattered every bulb in the building. The fire blew out on its own. Suddenly, snow began to fall outside thick, heavy, and unnatural for that time of year. They relit candles, got the fire back up, but then Theo noticed something. Emma was gone. The group searched the building frantically. Theo heard someone running outside and followed the sound into the snow. He thought he saw Emma, but when the figure turned, Theo froze. It wasn't Emma, it was himself. Same face, same clothes, but its skin was peeling, rotting, and its eyes were black pits. Inside, Jake found himself bleeding from deep bite marks on his arm. But there was no animal, nothing that could have bitten him. Then Leah screamed. Something was moving under her skin. A worm or parasite slithered through her cheek. Her face went dark and swollen, and she collapsed. Panicked, they ran for the exit. As Jake yanked open the door, Emma's lifeless body fell into his armchair face, twisted in horror. Behind her stood a man in a grotesque mask, holding an axe. He didn't wait. With brutal speed, he struck, killing all three. But then, they woke up. All four of them, including Emma, back at the fireplace. Same place, same time, 6:45 p.m. Had they imagined it? Were they dreaming? They bolted from the visitor center, made it halfway down the trail when the forest began to groan. Trees twisted. A monstrous figure emerged from the shadows. Before they could react, it devoured them. They died screaming, and then woke up again. Still 6:45 p.m. They were caught in a time loop. Determined to understand what was happening, they searched the building. In a back room, they found a wall of missing persons each, dated just days after arrival. Their own photos were up there too, with today's date, and under it, a message. "If you want to live, you have to survive until dawn." Before they could react, a baseball bat struck Theo's skull. They awoke again. 6:45 p.m. Again. Each loop ended with a new horror, a new death. 8 days later, local news reported 4 hikers, Jake, Theo, Emma, and Leah, have gone missing in Blackstone Valley. Last seen near the old Rangers Visitor Center. Authorities continue to search, but that's not where the story ends. Clover, Melanie's sister, now arrives at the same visitor center searching for answers. Unaware she's stepping into a cursed cycle. Will Clover and her friends survive until dawn? Or will they become the valley's next missing names?